Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Ted DeZurik, and I'm with Polywall, a company that I moved here several years ago to Menominee. I've been asked to present the reasons for making that move. And so I think we'll get right into it and not waste your time. To give you a little background, when I was out wanting to move my business to a better environment, I was determined to find a location near good transportation, near the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul, because after all, that's where I was coming from, and with an environment that had a business-friendly atmosphere and a community with some amenities to it. So why did I come to Dunn County? Well, you have some great ambassadors here in Dunn County, one of which is a local banker. That banker happened to be at a event in the Twin Cities and heard that I was looking for a location for my business and said, "Why don't you come on over and look at Dunn County?" He said, I had to ask a lot of questions like, where is it? How far away? But soon I came to be comfortable enough that I thought, why not take a look? So I came over here and took a look and found not only the banker, but I found some very good ambassadors in addition to him. A restaurateur here in town treated me like royalty as soon as they knew that I was looking at maybe bringing a business here. I found that the easiest thing to really sit back and say is the location fit. Yes, it was a stretch from Minneapolis, St. Paul at 1.25 miles away, but if you look at that distance, I could relate to when I was younger, that was a safe commuting distance, comfortable commuting distance from where I'd grown up. The transportation corridor was just what I was looking for because it was a major transportation route, the interstate, on the way to the East Coast. It was very, very comfortable to me that this is a place that if we were to ship from here, it was on our destination or on our way to our destinations where we sell most of our products. So I was onto the environment for growth, and that takes a little more time. You can't look at a map and say, well, this is a great environment for growth. It takes finding business people who are friendly, who want to help and make it happen. It takes a community where that can happen. It takes amenities. There were a lot of questions that I had. Well, remember the banker I told you about that introduced me to the community? I soon hooked up with your economic development director. At the time, it was Bob Bassani. Boy, he aggressively answered my questions. And he treated my questions as if I was one of his most important people. Together, Bob helped me nail down and identify the issues that we needed to overcome. He addressed the issues aggressively, got answers for me. He gave me insight into the community, and he introduced me to other people resources. These people resources that you have are some of the best. I found a great accountant, good legal advice, a realtor, all of which are important to business. You can't run a business without financing, without good accounting, without good legal services. They were right here in this community. I found a great community. The community is small, and that's okay for me. If you understand where I came from, I grew up in a small town. I enjoyed that life, moved to the big city, developed my business there, but a small town is comfortable to me, and I thought Menominee here in particular was a great small community. It's growing. And I noticed that it had a plan for growth. There was industrial parks, there was good planning and zoning, good sign to me. Some of you may know that I have a background also in development work, so recognizing good zoning, good structure to community comes pretty naturally to me. The public infrastructure was in place, and it was in good condition. Sewer, water, land, transportation, healthcare, fire protection, it was all here. Public officials, and I've dealt with a lot of them back when I was a builder developer. Public officials were approachable, they were definite, and the information was to the point and not arbitrary and gray. Again, I was very comfortable that I was getting the straight answers. I also noticed and looked around that the employment was strong and stable. Yes, it's a small community, but you had a university here, strong, stable employment. County seat, strong, stable employment. You had healthcare facilities here, strong, stable employment. Business, big and small, they all seem to be growing and thriving. So again, I was very comfortable with everything that I was finding. Shopping, adequate and growing. My wife and I have come to the conclusion if you can't find it at Fleet Farm, you probably didn't need it. More than adequate shopping is only 30 minutes away, right over in Eau Claire. Major metropolitan area is only an hour and a quarter away. You know, if I need to go to something major there, I can get there. And when I lived there, I didn't get there any more often than I do now, so it works fine for me. Now, the schools and universities that you have here were also an important piece of the puzzle. Your schools were new, modern. It told me that the city valued education. The university tells me that you have a very large changeover of people coming and going and changing at least every 4 years. And that means that by default, this community can accept newcomers. And that's important because if I'm going to move my business, I want to know that people can accept newcomers. And they didn't let me down. Your most important commodity is your community here, your people. The people that I met here seem to live here, work together, and thrive here. The housing stock appears to run the spectrum of size and age. It was more than adequate and good repair. You have clean streets. You've got multiple parks in good condition. You have a lake and a river. The community is active. You have several business and social clubs, many churches, and public and cultural facilities, not the least of which, as some of you may know, I get involved with the Mabel-Tainer. To me, culture is very important into the life of a community, and this community in particular. But if I'm going to attract good employees, I think it's something that I want to have at hand to show them that we have that here too. The people that I have met here, my wife and I, we have gained a great appreciation. They are intelligent, they're educated, hardworking, very friendly people who work and socialize together. The unique thing about Menominee, and for that matter Dunn County, is you're not a suburb of anything. You have an identity of your own. I came from the suburbs. I'm enjoying a community with its own identity where people work and play together. Menominee, Dunn County's greatest resources is people. They welcomed us, never ran into an obstacle where we didn't feel welcomed. That's why we're here. I'm sorry I can't be with you to answer any questions in person, but in February sometime, you might see me, and if you got further questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Have a good day. Enjoy your community. You have a great one here, and have a good meeting. Thank you.